drivers for heat number 13, the West Australian Street Stock title. Craig Clayton in 35, the lone car from the Hillview Speedway Club in Newman here this weekend. And on his outside, we cut number 21 from Kalgoorlie Boulder, Evan Wakefield. Right number 2, the 25 of Peter Hutchins, and the 16 of Jack Barnwell, second in the point standings, heading into night number 2. Car number 14 of Clint Hadley and the 66 of Ben Norman will come from row number 3. 77 is a local in this heat number 13, Barry Mason. 42 from Carnarvon is Matt Herbert, and 57 of Jeremy Ferris. Standings, 9 cars, night number 2 of the 32nd annual West Australian Street Stock title here in Carnarvon. Here's all go, and Evan Wakefield got a great start from the outside of the front row. The 2 Kalgoorlie Boulder drivers run 1-2 down the back straight away for the first time of 10 occasions, and Jack Barnwell very quickly down the inside of Evan Wakefield. He casts Wakefield wide. They're side by side through turns 3 and 4, and Barnwell has the nose in front. Wakefield back to second from Craig Clayton. Peter Hutchins, they tiptoe their way around the Carnarvon Speedway. A 21.6 opening lap time for Jack Barnwell, who's gone from position number 4 to the race lead in 1 lap. Wakefield is second from Craig Clayton. Then a gap back to Peter Hutchins, who sits in 4th. Ben Norman is 5th at 66 from the 42 of Matt Herbert. Glenn Hadley is 7th from Barry Mason and Jeremy Ferris. There's 9 starters in this race. Damon Lyle, a non-starter in car number 27. We're scheduled to have 10 to go around, with just 9 cars here. In heat number 13 of the West Australian Street Stock title. 7 laps remain this time around, and it was Jack Barnwell by 0.6 of a second that last time around from Evan Wakefield in 21. 2 seconds back to Craig Clayton, who sits in 3rd place in 35 as we got one around. In turn number 2, car number 14 of Clint Hadley is facing the wrong way, and he's holding Commodore from the Augusta Margaret River Speedway, racing in his first state title this weekend. Back underway as Peter Hutchins has retired from the race in car number 25. He's taken the Holden Commodore to the infield, so Peter Hutchins' bad weekend continues as we're back underway. And 7.5 laps remaining as they go down the back straight away here at the Carnarvon Speedway. They are going anti-clockwise around the Carnarvon Speedway, and Evan Wakefield has a bit of a look to the inside of Barnwell as Ben Norman now kisses the concrete wall at Pitt's corner and comes back across the racetrack in front of Jeremy Ferris and Clint Hadley. They both take evasive action. Track conditions very greasy at the moment. Matt Herbert now spins in turn number 2, and car 42 will rejoin. Well, won't be in last place as Ferris, Norman and Hadley haven't got by him as he goes across the infield to Herbert. In 42, track conditions very greasy at the moment. And it's Jack Barnwell by 1.2 seconds. They're all circulating in the 22-second bracket at the moment. It's Barnwell from Wakefield. Craig Clayton is 3rd. Barry Mason is now 4th in 77. As Jeremy Ferris and Matt Herbert battle for 5th and 6th, just ahead of Ben Norman and Clint Hadley, with Peter Hutchins retiring after 2 laps in the best presented car this weekend's state title. It's Barnwell from Wakefield in 21. Kalgoorlie Boulder Commodores run 1-2 at the moment. Barnwell for Bridgestone tyres, and the Ground Masters Commodore Evan Wakefield. Craig Clayton is 3rd. Barry Mason can't reel in Clayton for 3rd and 4th place. In fact, he's 2 seconds back from Clayton with 4 laps remaining. Pretty pedestrian affair, I have to admit. Track conditions a little bit greasy, and well down on one of the quickest times we've seen for street stocks around the Carnarvon Speedway as the passing flag comes out for both Jeremy Ferris, Ben Norman, and also Clint Hadley. Jeremy Ferris' car standing very sick and rough as he went past the start finish line, as Jack Barnwell now will try and negotiate the lap car. Clint Hadley gets seriously inconvenienced, and Evan Wakefield tried to capitalise and now spins the 21 Commodore for Groundmasters to the infield and will rejoin with only losing 1 spot. In fact, he rejoins alongside of Craig Clayton and will keep 2nd place for Evan Wakefield, so not a huge penalty. He's lost touch with challenging for the lead as he battles with Craig Clayton for 2nd and 3rd place, and Craig Clayton is now 2nd. Craig Clayton back to 3rd, and Barry Mason not too far away in 77 as Ben Norman is facing the wrong way in the exit of turn number 2. We're going to get a stoppage. A green-white checker will have to come in heat number 13 of the WA Street Stock title. A green-white checker to come.
The second half, he's already done his
So Jack Barnwell's been sent rear of the field for spinning car 66, the lap car. Even though he is a lap car, he doesn't have a right to spin the car out in front of him. That is the word from our officials. I'm just the messenger. Jack Barnwell has been sent rear of the field with 2 laps remaining. Jack Barnwell will go to the rear, and if he had won this heat race, he still can do that with only a couple of laps left, but if he'd won this heat race, that would have given him enough points to qualify pole if Jace Kempton didn't finish better than 3rd place in his final qualifying heat. So this is a big story. This year's WA Street Stock title, Jack Barnwell, he just has to hold his composure. In fact, it'll be a 3-lap restart, but Jack Barnwell will restart from the rear of the field with 3 laps remaining. Back underway, single file, which has had an Evan Wakefield lead through Best Corner. Craig Clayton through the bar corner, I should say. Craig Clayton looks to the inside as Jack Barnwell goes to the outside, move around the outside of Clint Hadley and Ben Norman. He's up back into 6th place. Around the outside of Jeremy Ferris back to 5th as Matt Herbert now challenges Wade Mason for 3rd place. In fact, Barry Mason in 3rd, not Wade. Wade coming up in the next heat race as Evan Wakefield has got out to 0.9 of a second with 1.5 laps remaining at the Carnarvon Speedway. Heat number 13 brought to you by Independent Fuel Solutions. It's Wakefield from Craig Clayton. He's holding off the advances of the local Carnarvon 77 of Barry Mason. Jack Barnwell now down the inside of Matt Herbert, and Matt Herbert has kissed the concrete wall. He's up by the concrete wall, Matt Herbert. He's got the car mobile, but the yellow lights will come on again. They were coming to the white flag, so we'll have a green light check up. And car number 16, the big news, Jack Barnwell has been disqualified from heat number 13 for being the cause. Well, he got sent rear originally for spinning out the 66 car, so he caused that stoppage, and now he's been adjudged to have pushed Matt Herbert wide into the wall, unnecessary contact, and Jack Barnwell, who had the race lead with only a few laps remaining, has now been disqualified from the race in car 16. Big news in this final round of heats early on. This is only the first of the night. With 2 laps remaining, Evan Wakefield leads him through past the bar. Craig Clayton has a big moment, and Barry Mason is now in 2nd place. Craig Clayton goes back to the outside of the Ford Falcon. They're side by side down the back straightaway for the second last occasion. Evan Wakefield will greet the white flag. 1 remaining in heat number 13, and Craig Clayton and Barry Mason. And Barry Mason is now 2nd. Craig Clayton back to 3rd. With Matt Herbert, he's now trying to form away past Craig Clayton. It's been an eventful heat number 13. Jeremy Ferris is 5th with Ben Norman and Clint Hadley. There are 7 cars remaining. We see that Wakefield will come home and win heat number 13, his first heat win of the weekend of the Groundmasters Commodores. He comes out of turn 4 and will win heat 13. And Barry Mason, I'm going to make a big call. I reckon he's in the show in car number 77. Craig Clayton will be 3rd from Matt Herbert in 42. Jeremy Ferris limps home, got 5th in 57. From the 66 of Ben Norman, and the final finish will be car number 14 from Margaret River, Clint Hadley. Peter Hutchins will be credited with 8th place finishing points, and Jack Barnwell gets no points for his final qualifying heat. He was disqualified in car number 16 after leading for about 8 laps. But how about that Carnarvon? Barry Mason, he needed a big result in his final qualifying heat. He's come from position number 8 into the runner-up position. 28 points for 2nd place. I think that might be enough to get him in the show, automatically qualified. But Evan Wakefield, he is the winner of heat 13. But Jack Barnwell will be absolutely livid. He was disqualified.